There are moments in life that shake us to our very core, moments that make you stop and think, this is real. This is happening. Imagine standing in front of someone who shaped your life, your career, and your identity, only to see them for the first time in an open casket. That was the heartbreaking moment rock legend Gene Simmons experienced when he saw his longtime bandmate and friend, Ace Frehley, laid to rest. It was a moment of raw emotion, the kind that even decades of fame, glitter, and stage lights can't prepare you for. What Gene felt in that instant was not just grief, it was a deep, human sorrow that reminded everyone that behind the larger-than-life personas of rock legends, there are real people with real feelings. Gene Simmons is a man known for his towering presence, his fiery stage persona, and his candid opinions. But when he spoke recently about Ace Frehley's passing, he revealed a side of himself that few had seen before, a side that was vulnerable, heartbroken, and deeply affected by the loss of a friend who had been part of his life for decades. When he learned that Ace had tragically passed away after an accidental fall, he was stunned. The news was sudden, shocking, and deeply emotional, leaving Gene grappling with the reality that one of his oldest friends and musical collaborators was gone forever. In the days that followed, Gene, along with Paul Stanley and Peter Criss, traveled to New York to attend Ace's private wake and funeral. It was there that Gene faced a moment he admits he wasn't prepared for, standing in front of Ace's open casket. Even for someone who had spent a lifetime performing in one of the world's most theatrical bands, seeing Ace lying still and silent was too much to bear. Gene recalls that he simply had to bow his head, overwhelmed by the pain and memories of decades spent together. The heartbreak he experienced was not just for the loss of a bandmate, but for the loss of countless shared experiences, the laughter, the music, and the journey they had taken together since the very beginning of their careers. Ace Frehley wasn't just a guitarist, he was the spaceman, the creative force behind some of the most iconic riffs in rock history, and a personality that defined an era. For fans, he was an icon, but for Gene, he was family, someone who had shaped a significant part of his own life and career. Standing in that funeral home, Gene faced the painful reality that Ace would no longer be part of the moments they would have shared, the milestones they would have celebrated, and the memories they would have made together. It was a sobering reminder that life is fleeting, even for those who seem larger than life. Gene's reflections weren't just about grief, they were also about the complexities of friendship, especially friendships forged in the crucible of fame. He spoke candidly about the challenges and struggles Ace faced over the years, the lifestyle choices, and the risks he sometimes took that concerned those who loved him. There was no judgment in Gene's words, only an honest acknowledgement of the realities they had all witnessed. He described the pain of knowing that, despite all the advice, support, and concern offered over the years, some things were beyond their control. Even in the midst of sorrow, Gene also acknowledged the bittersweet moments that followed. Ace's passing coincided with a significant career honor for Gene, the Kennedy Center Honors, one of the highest recognitions in American culture. But that celebration was tempered by the absence of his friend. The empty seat where Ace should have been was a stark reminder that life continues, even when those we love are no longer with us. Gene reflected on that absence with a mix of sadness and gratitude, hoping that Ace would somehow be looking down and proud of the legacy they had created together. The raw emotion Gene shared also highlighted the pressures of living in the public eye. For fans, Ace was a rock star, a spectacle of makeup, costumes, and larger-than-life performances. But behind the glitter and the stage persona, there was a human being, full of flaws, strengths, and vulnerabilities. Gene's reaction to seeing Ace in an open casket reminded fans that no matter how legendary someone becomes, they remain human, and the grief of losing them is universal. Gene's words also sparked conversations among fans about the complexities of life, friendship, and fame. He spoke with honesty about the challenges of maintaining relationships under the glare of public attention, about the struggles that come with creative genius, and the pain of watching someone you love face the consequences of their choices. Yet, even amid the sorrow, his words carried a deep respect and admiration for Ace, acknowledging the incredible impact he had not just on music, but on the lives of everyone around him. As Gene stood with Paul Stanley and Peter Criss at Ace's funeral, he reflected not only on loss, but on the enduring power of memory. He spoke about the moments they had shared, the music they had created, and the bond that would never truly be broken, even in death. It was a reminder that the legacy of those we love is not measured solely by their absence, but by the mark they leave on the world and on the people fortunate enough to know them. Gene's story also served as a poignant reminder of the fragility of life. Even icons, who seem untouchable under the spotlight, are subject to the same finality as everyone else. His candid admission of heartbreak humanized him in a way that few public appearances or interviews ever could. It reminded fans that behind every legendary band and every monumental career, there are real people who love, grieve, and remember. In the end, Gene Simmons' emotional reflection on seeing Ace Frehley in an open casket tells a story of friendship, grief, and the indelible power of music to connect lives. Ace may no longer be physically present, but his legacy, through his music, his personality, and his impact on those around him, will never fade. Gene's sorrow, vulnerability, and honesty offer fans a rare glimpse into the profound human experience behind rock and roll's glittering exterior. It is a story of loss, remembrance, and the enduring bonds of friendship that continue to resonate long after the final curtain has fallen. Ace Frehley's life, music, and spirit live on in the hearts of fans and bandmates alike. And Gene Simmons' heartfelt tribute reminds us all that even the mightiest among us are touched by grief, and that love, memory, and legacy are what truly keeps someone alive in the world, even after they are gone.